What's going on, party people? Welcome into the Chase and Big Joe show here on this Tuesday. We're live back at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, and we got a full crowd on hand, and we'd like to believe they're all here to see us.
Every single one of them. So until somebody tells that they're not, which they aren't, we will believe all of that as well. So, yeah, excited to be back to our home, man. Our home away from home.
He is Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane Nick Frazier is back at the studios. But don't worry, we're going to let him out tomorrow. The rest of the week, I'm going to be off gallivanting somewhere, and he's going to be – ow. Oh, I didn't wear green.
Didn't wear green, pal.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're getting pinched.
That's fine.
I don't wear green to purposely get pinched.
Yeah.
Because this.
Yeah, that's not green.
What do you call that?
It's yellow.
It's hunter green. It's not yellow.
Yeah.
Good
right.
Lord.
Whatever.
Are you colorblind? You
no.
are, aren't you?
No.
Okay. All right.
There's a lot of people in here not wearing green, so.
All right, well, get up and start pinching everyone. Yeah, right. Well, green next time.
Yeah,
next year on that. But it's a beautiful day, though.
This is one of those holidays that I'm just like, whatever.
No, it's not. This used to be the day.
It did.
This was the day where you just went out and you started at 10, and if you got to bed at 4 a.m. on the 18th, it was a miracle.
Well, I think it changed from – so 9 years ago today, my grandmother passed away.
Oh,
my dad's mom that owned Loveless, Donna, and I think that just kind of took the wind out of the sails.
Okay.
For St. Patty's Day.
Well, I think – what'd you call her?
Mama.
What? Mama, like grandmama?
So my dad wanted me to call her grandmama, and all I could say was mom.
Okay, all right. I think grandmama would want you to go out on St. Patrick's Day and live.
She probably would.
Uh-huh.
So
all right,
and we'll have an Evan Williams and water for her later.
Nice. I see you've got the all-time best leprechaun story pulled up on your computer there. If you've never seen the story about in Mobile, Alabama, I posted it everywhere about people think they saw a real-life leprechaun, and if you catch the leprechaun, right, don't you get a pot of gold?
Yeah.
So all these people are out looking for this leprechaun at night, and it might be the best news story of all time.
It's a good one. That is for sure.
Great, man.
Dr. Crane, are you wearing green today?
I am. I'm wearing a green hoodie.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, you're with it. I'm not.
You got anything green on?
No.
Nothing. Oh well. Okay. Well, maybe next year, right?
Yeah, maybe next year.
You get your one pinch out of the way. It's good to go. So I like this day because it's always reminds me that spring is nigh. And that we're in the middle of the basketball tournament, which there's games tonight, but really starts Thursday. So it's a good time to be alive, and it feels good.
It's a great time to be alive. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Joseph, what is our question of the day?
So tonight I have to go to McGavock High School, and I'm the featured speaker at the induction ceremony for the National Honor Society. And if you knew me in high school, you know how funny that is because I was
doesn't add up.
I was an absolute terrible student, except for one class where I was an All-American, and that was history.
Okay.
Like I didn't have to open a book. I was that. Every other class, I was awful. So our question of the day is 615-737-1025. What class in high school were you an academic All-American in? And what class were you an absolute embarrassment in? I need the good and I need the bad, but I need the good extreme.
I give you the good, bad, and the ugly.
I need the good. I need the bad extreme. What is it?
The ugly.
Reading?
No, I was good at reading. So I would say All-American would probably be either history or I was a really good writer, so English.
Okay, so you could teach an English class.
Yeah.
You're that good.
Yeah. I was a really I was very, very good. When they added essays to the SAT and the ACT, that was like a game changer for me.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't there when I was there.
Yeah, because I was a good writer. The ugly, terrible,
like the absolute worst.
Well, Latin, but that was a mistake. I should have never taken Latin.
Of course not.
I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. Probably a girl. But chemistry. I struggled so much through chemistry sophomore year of high school. And that was one of those things, too, that I busted my but to try and do well in it, and I just sucked at it. Like, I couldn't remember all the elements and all that stuff, and of course I'm like, when am I ever going to need this stuff and all that? But my teacher was very patient with me. It was really cool, Miss Parks, and I will never forget. I studied and studied and studied for my final exam, and I ended up making like a 76 on it, which was passing, which was a C. And I was like, I made it.
And you passed. Well, good for you. So you're awful. You're awful in that. Okay.
Science and math, I'm not strong.
It's got to be the far. So we're good at English.
Well, what I'm saying is like a lot of like English and history kids are good at, but science and math they're not.
Okay.
And I'm one of those.
All right, Dr. Crane, what were you good? I mean, like academic All-American in, and what were you awful in?
Would you count digital media class a academic class?
Were you good?
I was an absolute All-American. That's what I was.
All right.
I'd tell you that.
Your school, yeah.
Yeah, digital media was a fantastic class because I felt like I was instructing the class instead of learning.
So what was? So kind of tell us a little more. What was that?
You just
learned.
You learned more about the cameras and the focus and just the. I think it's like the f-spot, and where you can kind of open. No, I'm not just saying. I'm just saying open up the iris of the lens, and then the rest of that was more of just editing videos and stuff like that. That just came second nature to me.
Okay,
I'd say
you're good at that. You're very good at that.
Well, thank you.
So it's cool that y'all had that, and you're younger than me, so of course you did. But FRA has all that stuff now. And like whenever I've gone back to visit the teachers that were there when I was there, they're like, you would have been so good at this. I'm like, yeah, I know. I wanted this stuff.
Right? They're not, it happens. You move on. I was terrible in biology. I am telling you.
Well, I was too. Yeah.
They were going to fail me, but they felt bad. See, when I was in high school, is when they switched from the 60 to 69 D, It became a 70 to 70, so they moved it 10 points.
Yeah.
So I was
We didn't have Ds.
I didn't. Did you not?
No, it went A, B, C, F.
Rich people school.
Yeah, basically.
So I was an academic All-American history. Like, I could go teach a history class today. Biology still gives me nightmares. Nightmares. So tonight when I go and well, how good of a student were you at McGavick? I'm like, how does average sound? Does it average sound good? I took the ACT 4 times and made a 19 each time.
C's get degrees, baby.
They do, right? That doesn't matter, but I'm looking forward to tonight. But that's the question of the day. We want to know what you were the academic All-American in and what you still have nightmares about today. I still have nightmares about birds because the spring semester was like identifying birds, and only bird I knew was Larry Bird, Big Bird, and what a cardinal looked like. And that's not a joke. And I cheated my tail off on that class to get, and then it was awful. But 615-737-1025, academic All-American in, and then a complete total embarrassment in.
615-737-1025, and our question of the day is presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooters shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, sent you. Check them out at ariestactical.com. We're live at Bar Lines today and have a packed show. Drew Maddux is going to join us, Vanderbilt legend and a coach, and we'll go talk some hoops with him at the bottom of the hour. And then at 2 o'clock, keeping with the Vanderbilt theme, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee will join the program as they open spring practice today. So we'll look at Team 6 and some of the new faces, including Jared Curtis, who is a part of the team now, and what to expect as they open spring practice. So excited about that coming up on today's show here at Bar Lines. But our question of the day is certainly a good one. 9111 wants to know, does lunch count?
Well, were you good or bad?
He says good. Nevada Josh says worst was chemistry sophomore year, then and the damn periodic table. Me too, brother. Best was history because he was my football coach and PE weights.
You said
the football coach always taught history, I thought.
Right.
Or math.
Unless you're Brian Rector and you teach some kind of weird finance algorithm calculus class that he did. The chemistry thing bugged me because when Breaking Bad became popular and they do all the stuff, the little periodic, I was like, well, maybe I should have paid more attention in chemistry, and I never did.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Do you remember, and I applied this more to college than I did high school, there was a movie Road Trip that came out with Tom Green and Amy Smart, and it's pretty funny. And he's cramming for his final exam, and his buddy's teaching him using wrestling as analogies to remember everything, and I started doing that, like, for certain things in college, and it worked.
Right.
So it was pretty funny. Buckethead says, excelled at history, sucked at math, didn't do well. Didn't do well in sex ed either because I went to a Christian private school and always got in trouble for cracking jokes.
Oh, that'll do it for you. Yeah, I need the like you were retired to the rafter academic All-American and the class where you were just awful that your parents wanted to disown you. I want the both extremes on this.
Yeah.
Keegan, sir, I thought you'd be smarter in chemistry.
Heck no. Keegan says shot 82% from three-point land in chemistry class, shot 2% from deep in biology.
Biology is really, we don't talk about it enough. It's a tough class, man.
Yeah, you know what's funny? 3337 says I was a terrible student at everything, mainly from lack of trying, but I could win every spelling bee. I think my problem, and my mom would attest to this if we had her on, I could have probably been a lot better student than I was. I just hated school. I loved being around people and my friends and like creative things. I had a science teacher, Mr. Wagner, who was very I'm going to teach you this, but I want you to have fun, and that way you're going to actually learn it.
Okay.
And so we would do a lot of he would bring his guitar in, which obviously I related to, and he would do a lot of creative projects. And so, therefore, I would retain the material much better because I was enjoying it. Whereas reading out of a textbook or, all that stuff, I would lose interest. And so, I kind of look back at it if I had, as Mother would put it, applied myself a little more, which you probably can relate to that sometimes.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. I did just enough.
Yeah.
I did just enough, and, my mom, I was not going to bring her any more heartache or problems, but I did just enough. That's why I got lost in sports. I got lost in sports with good friends, and that became my life, and I know that I had to hit a certain point to academic-wise to keep playing sports. That saved me. How I did not play sports, I would have not made it.
Keegan says, tell me if you had this. My chemistry teacher was a 23-year-old blonde bombshell. I went out of my way to pay attention when she was speaking. Best class ever.
Of course.
We had a Spanish teacher that it was the same way. Everybody wanted that class.
Yeah, but see, here's the deal. When you went through school, your teachers were beautiful. My teachers, female, looked like Bon Jovi. Big difference. Big difference between your teachers and then mine. They look like Bon Jovi.
Well,
they look like the entire crew of the Bon Jovi band. But it was a good time, though, man.
Probably going to stay away from that. But I hear you. 615-737-1025. More coming from the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines, including Drew Maddux at the bottom of the hour here on 1025 The Game.
Oh, my gosh.
There we go. There's the math teacher, biology teacher, Joe's
mid-'80s.
Mid-'80s.
They all look like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. So that was oh, man. Hey, statute of limitations expired about 10 years ago. I've been out of high school 40 years now.
I say this with all the respect in the world. Is it safe to say that probably a majority of your teachers are no longer with us?
I would say that, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. Or if they are, they are living the life.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Welcome back, Chasing Big Joe, live from the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. Our question of the day is, what class were you an All-American in, and what did you absolutely suck at?
Yes. Good one.
615-737-1025. But I know you're excited about this. Mel Kiper Jr. has his latest mock draft.
Yes.
And you love these.
Does he do this daily?
No, he does this once every couple of weeks or a month.
Okay.
And this was updated this morning after the Broncos traded the number 30th pick to the Dolphins in a deal involving Jalen Waddle. So that's something to keep in mind here.
Okay.
Number 1, Fernando Mendoza. No surprise there. Jets take David Bailey from Texas Tech, the number 2 overall pick.
Okay.
Cardinals take Arvell Reese outside linebacker, Ohio State. And the Tennessee Titans at number 4 select running back, Jeremiah Love.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Here is where things get interesting. We have a running back go in the top 4 since Saquon Barkley, who went number 2 overall in 2018. The Titans certainly have a long list of issues, even after aggressively spending in free agency last week. But Tennessee is committed to boosting the offense around second-year quarterback Cam Ward, and Love would take the run game to another level while also serving as a dynamic pass catcher. His game features 4.36 speed, excellent vision, run-you-over power, and soft hands. Love would be an immediate upgrade over Tony Pollard for new offensive coordinator Brian Dable.
Love it. I love it.
By the way, Mel, you need to change the Titans logo. You got the wrong one there. Got the old one.
Hate it.
Come on, ESPN. Get on it.
He don't care.
I'll give you the rest of the top 10. Caleb Downs goes to the Giants at 5. Monroe Freeling, who's probably an author but also offensive tackle for Georgia, goes to Cleveland at 6.
Cleveland, be careful taking offensive linemen from Georgia.
Just don't let him drive.
We're gonna no. Isaiah Wilson should be the poster child for all that.
Washington takes Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. New Orleans takes another Ohio State wide receiver in Carnell Tate.
Good boy, Tyler Schluck, and then that guy.
And Chris Olave. Yeah.
It's nice.
The Kansas City Chiefs, because I swear if they do this, select Reuben Bain, defensive end for Miami.
They're back in the mix again immediately.
Cincinnati goes Mansour Delaney, cornerback from LSU, which I really do like him.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. Too bad Diego Pavia ran all over him, though.
Yep. Let's see. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, goes to Miami. Dallas takes Jermod McCoy, cornerback from Tennessee.
Hadn't played in a while.
Yep. They need a corner.
Hadn't played in a while. He hasn't played since the Iowa State game in 24.
See if anything pops out. Tampa goes the tight end out of Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq. He's pretty good.
He's very good.
At 16, the New York Jets got this pick from Indianapolis. Select quarterback Ty Simpson from the University of Alabama.
I like it. He's got an edge, man. There's something about him that he could be. And remember I would say the last Alabama quarterback there was Richard Todd. No, actually it was Greg McElroy. And then Richard Todd, and then Joe Namath, all Alabama quarterbacks into the Jets.
McElroy played with D-Mace.
That's right. He's terrible. You
know what's interesting about him is he will forever have to look at his final game at Alabama, and that's like the worst game of his career.
What game was it? Oh, versus Cam Newton?
No, I'm talking about, Ty Simpson.
Oh, whoa, yeah. What did he get? I mean, he got
hurt, but he was still pretty bad.
Snot out of him, yeah. That's right.
All right, so there's 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
First one was that Fernando Mendoza. Man, I tell you what.
Let's see. Look at others.
Give me who are the Texans? Who they have the Texans taken and the Jags? Again, I'm curious about those.
The division. All
yes,
sir. And Colts. Let's see. Where are the Colts?
Did the Colts lose their trip? To the Jets. Yeah. For Sauce Gardner?
Yep. They sure did.
All right.
Sure enough. Just a moment. The Texans select Christian Miller, defensive tackle, Georgia.
It's pretty good. He's a good player.
And the Jags don't.
Did they trade out?
Yeah, I don't think they have a pick in the first round.
Did they trade it? Who's the receiver they picked up midseason? Brian Robinson? No.
I forgot what trade this was a part of, but it was part of something.
All right, well. Who's the last player that Mel Kiper's got taken?
One you'll like.
32 is?
The Seattle Seahawks select cornerback Colton Hood, University of Tennessee. I like him too. Yeah. Vrabes goes KC Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M. And I like him too.
Was that the guy that got up and had the speech impediment y'all made fun of? Not you, but people. I think it was,
maybe.
Wasn't it? Ridiculous. Yeah, he's a good. He's a good.
You put him with Romeo Doubs?
Yep. Hey, Dr. Crane, who's the receiver out of Mississippi State that runs like a 4.2 and is like Blazer?
Brennan Thompson.
Did he go to State, then to Oklahoma, then back to State?
I believe it was Oklahoma, then to State. I don't think he did that back and forth. I think it was just one move. I could be wrong. I'll double-check that.
I see. He's a burner. I wouldn't mind the Titans grabbing him like in the 3rd or 4th round.
By the way, with the Dolphins trading and requiring the 30th overall pick from Denver, they select Keldrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn. Didn't we have him on?
Our guy?
Yeah.
Yep. He's been anywhere from 10 to 30.
I know.
He's huge. He was so nice.
Kansas City, with that extra pick, it's Brandon Cease, the cornerback from South Carolina.
He's a cornerback? Mm-hmm. I mean, look, Cease, get his shirt out. Cease and desist, right? You don't throw the ball over here, man.
I like that. A lot of corners in the first round. So,
well, look, the game has gone vertical now.
Yeah. One of Jacksonville – Cleveland has Jacksonville's pick at 24, and they take Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver, USC.
Trying to build around Shador up there.
Yeah.
It sounds like that way.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman, and then with a receiver. That's what the Colts did with Manning when he got there. He had nothing, and they started building, with Marvin Harrison and then Reggie Wayne, and with Dallas Clark, and getting a good offensive line and building that team around Manning. And it looks like it was a blueprint that worked for them, and maybe this works for the Browns.
Yeah.
So who knows on that, Mike?
But look, I think if they go Love, I'm still good with it.
I still want that trade 3 and 4, but if it drops there at 4, then I'm fine with it.
0900 says, did the Vandy tight end go in the first in that mock? No.
Eli Stowers?
Eli Stowers. Everything I've seen on him was like anywhere from mid-second to early third.
Could he have come back?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe Crazy Clay will call in and let us know.
So there you go. Coming up next, we'll continue things. I think Drew Maddux is going to join us. We'll let him finish his lunch, but we'll talk some hoops with him. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. 102.5 The Game here on this Tuesday. We're live at Barlines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. A little Bon Jovi, or was it Joe's history teacher? Who knows? We're excited to have Drew Maddux join us now here on the program. We'll try and get him where he can hear. Are you here? Is it working?
Talk amongst yourselves. How we doing?
I got you now.
There we go.
I got you.
Okay, cool. All right. There we go. Little Drew, how are you?
What's up, guys? I am doing great. Best week of the year for me.
Yeah.
For a hoops junkie, does it get any better than the opening week of March Madness? It absolutely does not. We just came off an unbelievable SEC tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Vanderbilt made a great run, which we loved. Selection Sunday, and then we roll right into incredible first couple of rounds of the tournament.
Do you like the draw for the Commodores?
I do. I do believe, and I think seeding gets overrated, and I can tell you my theory on all of that. But if you do look at analytics, I do believe Vanderbilt got the worst seeding of what their resume was. And that's not just looking through gold-colored glasses. If you look at offense efficiency, you look at defensive efficiency, you look at KenPom ratings, overlay it with strength of schedule with what their resume was collectively, I do believe they received at least one seed line below of what their actual resume said they were.
So you think they could have been a 4?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And now, if they win against Arkansas and Bridgestone on Sunday, does that change? I don't know. But I still I think the McNeese State game, in my opinion, is going to be a tougher game than if they draw Nebraska in round 2, which we all know Nebraska's never won a tournament game in the history of the school. So we'll see if they can win their first round game as well.
I don't think Troy's an easy match.
No, I think it's going to be awfully difficult. Once again, they've never been in that setting.
Yeah.
Their offense, once again, I don't want to get overly nerdy here, but if you start to really look at the way Nebraska finished the year, obviously we know, Fred Hoiberg and what he has done, and he is known as an offensive guy. But if you look at this team, it's more of a defensive-minded group, and they're in the top of the analytics defensively. Offensively, they really struggled coming down the stretch, particularly in the Big Ten. It's a hard, obviously, a schedule to play there in the Big Ten, but they really struggled scoring the basketball, and I just believe it's going to be awfully tough for them against Troy with athleticism and length and some of the things that they present. And then you got Vanderbilt if you get it to the next round.
Yeah.
What I hated was they unveiled the bracket the other night, and then the next graphic was like, who is the 5 that gets upset by the 12?
Yeah.
Immediately. I'm like, there's Vanderbilt, McNeese State, and the other teams. And I'm thinking, that's all your Vandy players are going to hear this week, right? I mean, like that always happens. How do you shut that out?
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely turn off all media. I would grab every phone from every single guy in the locker room and put them in a lockbox over the next week and say, hey, we have a chance to do something really special. But to your point, Big Joe, I do believe you can't just go and compare history to what modern-day basketball and filling out a bracket looks like.
Right.
So I'll give you, for instance, last year, every bracket that was filled out on any platform, there were 11 teams that were picked, 11 to 16 seeds, as upset by the population, by people that actually picked. This year so far, only 2. 2 are showing up in a third of the brackets in terms of upsets.
Wow.
So what I mean by that is it's exactly what we believe to be true. The gap is widening in college basketball. Good is getting better.
Yep.
And the gap, because of transfer and NIL money and allocation of resources and all the things. So I wouldn't be so quick just to historically go and say, oh, a 12's got to win. Or, we know the last, 9 of the 10 years, a 13's won. I don't think you can go to that metric anymore like we would have done 3 or 4 years ago.
The job Byington's doing at Vandy. I mean, look, he didn't have half a roster a year ago, and now to get where he is, your thoughts on him?
Oh, incredible. I love Mark Byington. I've known Mark Byington going back till 2010. Kid named Jake Alsmiller, who played for me at Christ Pres Academy. A young coach named Mark Byington from Georgia Southern showed up in my office at Christ Pres Academy here south of Nashville. And I got to know him really well.
Oh, I'm familiar with CPA. Don't worry.
Okay. That's right. FRA guy. Yeah, that's right. So I got to know Mark really well, and I started really following what he was doing, obviously, and then to James Madison in here. Incredible basketball coach, even better human being. But I do believe he is a great example of somebody that has embraced modern-day basketball but has not sold out completely to not implementing what traditional coaching can be, which is a transformative opportunity for the kids that you serve. Utilizing basketball as a platform to create a shared experience that is meaningful for the guys in the room. And he hasn't thrown that out the window to make it totally transactional.
Right. Yeah.
And I just think it's a beautiful example that you can do modern-day basketball the way, embrace what the world is, but you can embrace traditional coaching values and the meaning of what it means to be a coach. He and his coaching staff, I believe, have done it as good as anybody in the country.
What does it mean to you as somebody that, played at Vanderbilt, what the athletic department used to look like?
Yeah.
You see it now where there's commitments to the football coach and the football program, to the men's basketball program, the women's basketball program, baseball, bowling, whatever, that quite frankly wasn't there before. And now you are seeing the fruits of that labor and, Candace and what they're all doing. I mean, that has to be extra special for you as an alum to see that evolution of athletics at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's everything to us, and it's beyond our wildest imagination. And I believe this. I believe everything rises and falls with leadership.
Yeah.
And I give Chancellor Dienermeyer a lot of credit. I give Candace Story-Lee a lot of credit. But just what they've done with our coaches and the opportunity of the Vanderbilt value proposition of being in this city at this moment in time, being as a part of the SEC, and then utilizing your resources. I mean, guys, Vanderbilt, if you look at endowment levels, Vanderbilt right now would be third in the SEC behind the 2 Texas schools. Texas A&M and Texas would be the only 2 schools in SEC that has more collective resources than what Vanderbilt has.
Yeah.
So to your point, Chase, to see our leadership say, we want to be excellent in this space, just like we do in the medical space or the engineering space or the arts and science space, whatever that looks like. This is a programmatic offering that is an incredible connector in the community. We're going to put all of our chips to the middle of the table and say, we're going all in here because we want to be excellent at everything that we do. So to us that have been lifelong Vanderbilt fans, once again, my dad, my granddad played there. People told long-time bedtime stories of other people that were meaningful in history. My dad told stories of Vanderbilt athletes. That's what we went to bed at night doing. So we have breathed, and soaked up Vanderbilt athletics. And so to see what it has become and what is happening, and I believe we're just getting started. I believe the best is yet to come.
So I grew up here, and I mean, before the Titans and the Preds and everything, I mean, it was Vanderbilt and the Sounds. I mean, that was what I grew up going to.
Yeah.
Seeing a guy named Drew Maddux play for
long time ago.
Jan Van Bredekop.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. And my buddy and I would go. His stepdad worked like the scores table, so we would always go to the games and watch you guys. But I mean, that's what I grew up on, and so I've always been a Vanderbilt fan, and now to see that success, and, you know, and obviously Coach Corbin got a lot going with baseball a long time ago, but to see it now spread throughout has been really neat.
Yeah, I think Coach Corbin probably was the one that really started to foster the flame of what could be, right? Yeah. So it started to paint a picture. So a great deal of credit to him and the excellence that he built, because it was like, we can do that.
Right.
That can be done. He has obviously developed a blueprint for the Vanderbilt experience, the way a student athlete can operate within that environment, and we can do that within the conference that is the best conference in the world, and we can do it. And so I give him a lot of credit, because I do believe that helped attract, you know, Shea Ralph and obviously what Clark Lee's done. He was a Vanderbilt guy, and I love that y'all are having him on later. Is there anybody better than that guy? I mean, incredible. But Mark Byington as well, and then the other coaches that you said. I mean, it's just so cool to see the collective success across the board.
Obviously, you don't remember a Rod Dowhauer, because that started it going right there.
Yeah,
I am so sorry. I want to bring up, and I don't know why I remember this.
Yep.
1995, you played your ass off in the tournament versus Arkansas.
Yeah.
You lost by a point.
Yeah.
And I remember after the game, you sat on the floor.
Yep.
You were exhausted. I think you played 40 minutes.
I think I played every minute. Didn't come out that game.
I think you did. And you were exhausted. And I just remember seeing, like, you gave everything against the team that went to the championship game in 95.
Yep.
What do you remember about that? Was your freshman year, right? And basketball's evolved in 30 years. But I just remember, Drew, that day, how you kept that Vanderbilt basketball team. I mean, face it, Arkansas was loaded.
Yes.
Top to bottom. And you kept them in. Y'all lost by 1 point.
Yeah, it was unlike anything that I had ever imagined I would ever get to experience, to be honest with you, Joe. You know, and that day was in the old Georgia Dome. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking into the Georgia Dome. We had played LSU the day before, and I always dreamed about playing an SEC tournament. Had a great game against LSU as well. And then coming back, Arkansas was ranked number 1 in America. And everybody in the audience, it was almost like it was blue and maroon red. I mean, like the support. Now, we saw it this last weekend where some Arkansas fans started to show back up. But back in those days, it was like those were the two colors that you saw.
Right.
30,000 people in the gym. And the belief that we could win, we were playing for our lives. We had a up and down year that year. And so it was like almost what you saw from Ole Miss this last weekend. Like, if we lost, we were going to spring break. You know, and so it was like, this is everything you had waited for. You had always wanted to put yourself in a Vanderbilt uniform in that environment. You have nothing to lose. Just let it rip and go give everything that you had. And I love that you bring that up, because we lost on a block charge call. Ronnie McMahon, my good friend, tried to slide over in front of Corey Beck, their point guard.
Right.
And it could have gone either way, and they called a block, and he made one free throw and beat us that day.
I vividly remember
That's
that
amazing.
game. I just vividly remember you sitting on the floor. You were exhausted.
Yeah, I scored our I don't mean this way, but I scored our last 6 points and tipped one in over to Dwight Stewart to even give us a chance that tied the game with under 20 seconds to go that day.
Oh, that is amazing. You make it in 98, right? Oh, you get to the tournament?
97. Yep.
And you play, was it
in Detroit?
In Detroit,
yeah. The old Palace in Auburn Hills.
Xavier,
that's right.
Well,
yes.
What was it like to see Vandy on the screen, like, all right, Vandy's in, and then boom, there's your next part of your dream?
Yeah, it was, once again, it was incredible. We were sitting in the living room of Jan Van Bredekop. We were squarely on the bubble. Didn't know that we were going to get in. We had come down the stretch and closed that season and played well. Played good in the SEC tournament. Had some wins there in Memphis at the old Pyramid. And I still will remember, like, the elation of when our name popped up on that screen. You know, it was like we had sacrificed, we had dreamed, we had spoken about it, we had planned, and then to see your name come up, it is just a reminder that anything's possible. Once you start to put your mind to it, the vision can become a reality, and I got to experience it that day.
What was the greatest team you ever faced?
The greatest team, I mean, the 96 Kentucky Wildcats. Unquestioned. I mean, probably, arguably to me, and I'm a basketball historian. I followed it, I mean, pretty closely. I would say they would be in the top 2 or 3 all time. I mean, of any college, all the UCLA teams, all the Duke teams.
Wow.
If you take the 96 Kentucky Wildcats led by Rick Pitino, we've seen what he's doing now at St. John's. I don't know that there was a more dominant college basketball team than what we saw from the Kentucky Wildcats in 96.
Who was the big man on that team?
Well, Mark Pope was one,
right.
But they had Walter McCarty, who went on to play in the NBA. But, they had other guys. Ron Mercer, my good buddy, played for them as well.
Tony Delk?
Tony Delk, of course. Yeah. They were just loaded at every position. I believe, I don't want to speak out of turn. It was either 7 or 8 draft picks off that team.
Oh, my goodness. Real quick before we go to the break.
Yep.
Is Rick Pitino the greatest college basketball coach of all time?
Yeah, it would be tough not to argue that when you see what he's done. I still go Coach K just because I'm a little bit biased in that direction. But to be able to do it at so many stops, it takes somebody that is one of one, and I believe that's him.
According to sportsreference.com, Tony Delk, Antoine Walker, Walter McCarty, Derek Anderson, Ron Mercer, Mark Pope, Jeff Shepard, Wayne Turner, and Nazar Mohammed all played in the NBA.
Oh, unbelievable.
Now,
the 96 team.
With NIL, does that team exist today?
Oh, that's a great question because with the transfer portal, more importantly, too, because it would be hard to get that many guys to sell out to a vision of, are you okay if you average 11 points?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you may lose dollars and cents based on what your production is. You have to buy into that. Who knows? Kentucky did pay $22 million for this roster, so who knows?
That's
What's that roster worth?
Oh gosh,
$55 million. Yeah, right.
That's a really good question. We'll have more with Drew Maddux coming up next, talking some hoops with him live from the Omni Nashville Hotel, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. It's a Bon Jovi kind of day. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hanging out with Drew Maddux, talking some hoops with him. Just looking at the tournament as a whole, is there a team, I think the betting favorite is either Michigan or Duke, one of those teams, but is there a team you look at and just go, that is complete top to bottom and going to be really hard to beat?
Yeah, I think the top two, to answer your question, Chase, would be Duke and Arizona. Duke, I think a little bit, though, is suffering from some injuries. The starting point guard, now they have Boozer that can come in, the smaller of the Boozer twins, to fill in, but Caleb Foster being hurt, I think, will hurt them a little bit. The big fella inside, and I don't even want to attempt to say his last name, but suffers from some foot soreness, but I think them in Arizona are the two. Michigan, great defensive team. I think, we saw it against Purdue the other day, really struggled to score coming down the stretch. So it'll be interesting. But I think those two teams in particular seem to have the guard play, the length, the size, and all that you would need.
A guy named Boozer at Duke.
Gosh.
Haven't heard that one before.
I know. What about that? Incredible what those kids, and if you go back and look at their lifetime in basketball, they have won everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple state championships, won a national championship, not even playing for a prep school, won at the Peach Jam, Nike's highest level competition, and now here they are, have the number one ranked team in America, and it's because of, obviously, what those kids can do.
Florida's a 1 seed. Are people sleeping on them, though?
I think they probably got a little bit of an inflated look after what Vanderbilt did to them this last week. Vanderbilt played the best game that they had played all year, make no mistake about it. But I do believe they struggled the day before against Kentucky. Kentucky just couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
If Kentucky could have made a shot from behind the arc, they would have, that game would have been in the balance as well. Vanderbilt's backcourt is just unique. I think Duke Miles and Ty Tanner, obviously a local product here at Brentwood Academy, but those two kids, the way that Florida with their length, I think Vanderbilt is a hard matchup. So if we're looking at that rematch in the Sweet 16, I think that's going to be a fun game.
I know Calipari in 12, when Vandy beat them in New Orleans SEC tournament, he said that loss propelled them to the finals and win the championship because they got the taste that losing sucks.
Yeah.
And he kept telling them, losing sucks. And they experienced Anthony Davis. They hated that, and they got the run. So could Florida fuel off that?
I think so. I mean, I do. And I think Todd Golden's an outstanding basketball coach.
Agreed.
Now, I've never seen a coach that rips officials as much as that guy. I mean, I sat behind their bench, every game they played over here. He was relentless on those officials. It was incredible. All that to say, I think he's a brilliant basketball coach. I do believe their length is unique. If their guards can give them just enough, I think you're looking at a Final Four team for sure.
Darius Acuff Jr.'s uncle is Rashad Phillips.
Oh wow, who played at North Carolina?
And he's 5'9". I didn't know he was 5'9".
Wow.
But he's like his advisor, and he played 10 years in the NBA.
Acuff is as good of a guard as I've seen in person in probably the last 20 years for certain.
And he's got the cut-off T-shirt underneath, which is bad.
Right? You're a bad man if you can pull that off. That's what we used to do. We used to get those scissors out and cut those sleeves off.
Yeah, right. Calipari, I mean, look, Kentucky fans are telling us, we're glad to let him go. We didn't need him. But, I mean, he did something nobody's ever done. He's won the tournament twice with 2 different teams. And I get sometimes you're like, I can't stand that guy, but guy wins, right?
Yes. And if you saw this team, they won playing basically 7 players. And they didn't go any further than that. He got production from all over the board. I thought he made great adjustments. Even coming out of halftime, what he did against Vanderbilt, they went on a quick 11-0 run.
Yeah.
The way they ended the game on a 13-2 run coming out of the last media timeout, he just seemed to make the right call at the right time. And then obviously you put the ball, it doesn't take somebody that's extremely smart to put the ball in the hands of Acuff to let him go make a play. But you still got to set the table and space the floor and counteraction it and do all the things that they do. He did a great job.
So if you don't have good guard play in the tournament, you're not going to win, are you?
That's correct.
Right?
That's
I mean,
correct.
if Tanner, who's number 2 for Vandy?
Oh, Duke Miles.
Love that
beast. Oh,
right?
He's a dog.
And they missed him when he was hurt. They missed him.
Well, and that's when Vanderbilt went through a little bit of a struggle. And then when he was still trying to get acclimated back and get back healthy,
right.
That's when Tennessee won here in Nashville against Vanderbilt. That was his first game back. And now you start to see the efficiency. But those 2 guards together against Florida forever – Vanderbilt only had 2 turnovers. It was like 18 assists and 2 turnovers. Then down the end of the game, they turned it over a little bit. But those 2 guards, you're always going to have a chance.
I always hate doing this, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Can you stay one more segment?
Okay. Yeah.
I can
do it. I can do it. Yes.
All right. Because we're running up against it. Because I got a few more questions I want to ask you about the tournament.
I love it.
Drew Maddux is with us here on the Chasing Big Joe Show. We'll have more in hour number 2, 102.5 The Game.